What nobody else will tell you about BeautyPie. This brand is kind of like the Costco of beauty, and there's a lot of people that are pissed off about them because they are ruining luxury skincare brands. Let's talk about why, what getting a slice of the beauty pie or skincare pie actually means, and how this brand got started and what is going on with them. I've personally been in the industry for over 10 years, and I've seen a lot in professional offices and in the influencer world. At the end of the day, I was a consumer first, and I believe that people should have access to brands that match their morals and values and help them feel empowered through their skincare. So I dig apart the ethics behind brands, what's in the ingredients list, and what it all means for you to make empowered and informed choices. To get to the bottom of this, I decided to not only read my ingredients lists and to reach out to some former employees, but also to see what my other influencer friends were saying. But I actually called up the founder of BeautyPie, who is a serial entrepreneur, and I worked with her and BeautyPie on this video to get some of the answers from the industry and actually partner with BeautyPie on this video to understand exactly what's going on and how they're able to offer these products for so cheap. So BeautyPie, the name alone is kind of funny, but let me tell you, this brand is spicy. Can pie be spicy? If there ever were a spicy pie, this would be it. BeautyPie started in December of 2016, but it's been becoming more and more popular recently. And when we actually dig into the brand, you could argue that this brand started back in the 1990s. You see, this brand was started by a woman named Marcia, and she is the mastermind behind Bliss and Soap&Glory. She's also done fitness and lifestyle items, but this brand really started because when she was in cosmetic labs and in cosmetic factories, she was seeing what other brands were doing, how much they were charging for these products, and she decided to create something that everyone could afford so that everyone could get a slice of the pie for a deeper discount. Now, there are still some questions about this because, again, some people are pissed off, some consumers are pissed off, most consumers are very happy. But how are they able to offer these skincare products that seem like luxury skincare brand dupes for prices that are between $10, $20, and $30? And if Marcia, this amazing entrepreneur, had created Bliss skincare and Soap&Glory skincare, if these brands are so good, why create another line? What does this bring to the table that these others don't? BeautyPie is kind of like the Costco of beauty. In essence, it's kind of like this big warehouse of skincare and beauty online. Similar to Costco, the membership costs a certain amount per month or a certain amount per year, and you're able to go in and buy luxury skincare products and save yourself 50 to 70% off of these luxury items. Even Marcia herself said that luxury beauty is over, and I cannot tell you how much I resonate with that as someone who turns and learns my ingredients and cares about these things and want people to understand their ingredients and use products that are actually good for them. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. The core values or the philosophy of the line is really that everyone deserves a slice of the pie. When Marcia was working in the industry, she would go to these different labs where you're basically given a whole bunch of skincare products and you're allowed to put your own scent in or some active ingredients, and you're able to put a brand on them and start selling them. Normally, brands sell them for 10 times the price. This is a generalized rule. This is a generalized markup because you don't have to just pay for the product. You have to pay for the branding, you have to pay to keep the lights at the office on, you have to pay for the shipping and handling, you have to pay for the celebrity to endorse it. And if you're wondering about some of those celebrity skincare lines, that's kind of how it works. Celebs and their teams walk in, they pick a proprietary scent, and they basically choose off of a list, kind of like a skincare or beauty menu. They put their name on it and they charge you 10 times the price. Well, people in the skincare industry understand how this works, and Marcia saw this and said, this is kind of unfair. Why is this one brand charging $90 for this when the base price is only $7 to $9? And is there a way to sell this for $20 or $30 so that we're cutting out that middleman, we're cutting out that retailer, and we can pass those savings on to the consumer? Because did you know, to be in some of those major retailer stores, brands have to sell a certain amount and they have to give a major percentage to the store. So no wonder there are some skincare products that end up being so expensive. Here's the not so pretty truth that no one will tell you. As you probably know or have gotten the hint, I've worked a little bit in cosmetic chemistry before, and I've tried my hand at a couple things and realized it's a lot harder than it seems to do things right and custom if you're not picking off that menu. Well, I know some of the labs that create these luxury skincare products, whether they're in France, whether they're in Korea, whether here in the USA or in Canada, and BeautyPie knows some of those same ones. They go in there and they say, okay, who are these luxury retailers? We're just gonna create this at a less expensive price. And it's pretty much the exact same thing, only we've taken their fancy brand off of it and we've put our BeautyPie one on. And if you've spent a little time looking through skincare or turned and learned your ingredients, you may have noticed that these seem like a lot of those other popular brands. Well, those other popular brands that BeautyPie is a less expensive and just as luxurious version of are getting pissed off because obviously BeautyPie is taking away their sales. These right here are these super active capsules with vitamin C and vitamin E. These came out a couple years ago from a very popular brand that is also very overpriced. BeautyPie decided to offer these for a fraction of that price, and it's not illegal, but obviously the original brand is pretty upset because now consumers know you don't have to pay $87 for these vitamin C ceramide capsules. Even on the website, they explain how other brands are charging $65 for this stuff, but BeautyPie has them for $12.30. And of course, there is that membership fee that you have to pay, so okay, add 10 cents or 25 cents to each product. But for $13, I'm getting a lot farther with some of these than I am with some of those luxury or department store brands. I went through the website and I lost my flippin' marbles. I lost my pie filling. For instance, the Dr. Glycolic toner is normally $40. It's $12.20 right now. The Pure Ceramides eye cream is $50 normally, and it's $7.47 on BeautyPie. Yes, the ingredients are amazing. It's filled with ceramides, and Cassandra Bankson actually bought an eye cream because remember, eye creams are overpriced moisturizers. And for $50, this is way too expensive to use all over my face. But for $7.16, you bet I'm gonna put this on my smile lines, on my chin, on my forehead, crow's feet, you name it. Because for $7.16, this product actually makes sense. But again, there are some customers that are a little bit pissed off. You see, BeautyPie has had some mess ups. They have launched products that didn't work well. People felt like they couldn't even get the product out of the bottle. And a lot of people also question why they are so cheap. I tried to look online to find some of the answers to these things, but I thought, why don't I just call up Marcia directly? One question, one of the hard questions. I know that some people complained that there was like a problem with the BeautyPie hair care.
I mean, we have stuff go wrong all the time. Of course we do. We produce about 200 new products a year, right? So I have a huge product development team, and we churn out a lot of new stuff. When we first made our shampoo, the very first batch, and this happens all the time. I mean, it's like constant. So you learn to roll with it. I'd say probably 1% of the stuff that comes in, there's some problem with it. And you always have to juggle, okay, what's the right thing to do between like the environment? Because you don't want to just throw things out. Where are they going to go, right? But then again, you're not going to sell a bad product because that reduces customer trust. I always say, we try to come up with, the answer to a problem that you've got in front of you from a business perspective. The correct answer is always the one that increases customer trust. So we had shampoo. What we had agreed with the lab and what we had approved was a sample at a certain kind of viscosity. It was perfect shampoo viscosity. It was not too thick. When we got the production sample, so the pre-production sample, so they'd filled a few and then send them to us to say, okay, is this ready? It was so thick that you couldn't pump it. Like when you pumped it, you had to pump it like 5 times to get enough shampoo out onto your hand, which is irritating. But
bad user experience.
Bad user experience. Great shampoo still. More like a concentrated shampoo, but you had to work it really hard. But we had 10,000 bottles of shampoo. We pumped it. They had actually gone ahead and filled them without waiting for us to give them the feedback. And then they said, oh, well, when we batched it up, we didn't realize and we put too much of this particular thickener and it's not going to change the activity of the shampoo at all. It's like, well, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to throw out 10,000 bottles of shampoo and put them in landfill? Because you're not going to recondition the bottles and use them again. You can't. By the time you wash them out, the labels will be all gooey and you just can't. So what do you do? So normally what we'll do, and that's the beauty of the transparency and having this community, that we ask people, all right, guys, what should we do with this? It's too thick. Do you want to buy it without using, because everybody has sort of a limit that they can use each month. So do you want to be able to just buy it without using any allowance? And it's kind of like a sample, but you got to pay the cost price of it, or should we throw it out? And they all said, we don't care about the pump. We'll just buy it. And it's like, all right, we're going to put it up there. Now, of course, those are the people who were members when they heard about it. Then you get other people who buy it and they're like, what's wrong with this pump? So you never can win, because of course they're going to then say, hey, this shampoo is no good because blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, no, it is good, but the pump sucks, or,
different.
So But I'd rather struggle with, a couple of people saying the pump is bad than throw 10,000 pieces of something into landfill.
Thank you for
So
that. Yeah.
you just want to do the right thing, right? And usually there is an obvious answer and it just requires more work. And I'm not afraid of work. I really wanted to do something. When you get up in the morning, you have to really want to do it, right? Because it's so hard. And especially with what we're trying to do is so disruptive and it's hard. Like every day, just trying to get the word. People are skeptical. They think, come on, how can stuff be this cheap, right? It can't be any good if it's that cheap. So you have to constantly be telling the story and building trust and helping customers. And there's always things that go wrong, and you've got to, you just have to keep driving. And I knew that in order to take on something this big, I really would have to love it. And so our purpose really is to teach customers that they deserve a bigger piece of it. It's about equality. It's about deserving more. It's about never believing that someone tells you you're not good enough, that that you fall into that trap. It's about believing that you deserve just as much as anybody else and just as good of a product, or just as much of a selection, or just as luxurious of an experience as anyone, no matter who you are. And that idea should go through your whole life, not just beauty products. But I thought, hey, we can start this with beauty products and give people that confidence to just know that they're just as good as everybody else.
I cannot tell you how refreshing this phone call was to speak with another woman in the industry who understands how this stuff works, to understand how markups are done, and how psychological manipulation is literally put into the marketing of beauty products to get you to spend more. And to be able to vent together on a call was so refreshing. And I did ask her the hard questions, and she answered them to me straight-faced. So Marcia, I guess if there's one thing that you want people to take away from this, one thing that you want people to know about, exposing, the real side of the beauty industry, what's like the one take-home thing that people need to know?
I think it is probably the beauty industry has like a 10% rule. And I think that's the one thing that everybody should remember, that generally if you're buying from a store or off a website, the cost of goods, like how much that product really costs to make, is 10% of what you're paying. And, is that good enough for you? I think that you're worth more than that.
Know it, question it, do something about it, right? I do understand that with the hair situation that BeautyPie messed up, they understood too. And the fact that they actually asked their customers what to do or whether or not they should throw them away or repurpose them, I think was a great idea. Because again, we all make mistakes, and I don't think making mistakes is bad. It's how we deal with those mistakes or ignore or deflect from those mistakes that define our character. And that's the same for brands. So the fact that they actually took action, they actually decided to fix the problem, that speaks more than the actual infraction itself. This brand is for bad bitches who love beauty. When I originally heard the name BeautyPie, I was like, what the heck are you talking about? And then when I started to understand a little bit more, I was like, okay, this is about giving everybody a slice of the pie, making sure that luxury skincare is actually affordable. So if we want to smear a $420 cream onto our epidermis, we can pay that kind of money. But if we only want to pay $12.12, we have that option too. At first, I also kind of thought it was a little bit childish. You see, the entire website is very pink. The packaging is even very pink. It's kind of fun because when you open it up, it says it's Pie Day, because you can choose how often you'd like to receive your shipments. But when I actually started turning and learning those ingredients and looking into the products, again, this isn't some baby line. Oh no, this is strategic. They know what they're doing. They know what the industry is doing, and they're on a mission to kind of tear that down. BeautyPie reminds me of like an undercover millennial girl who's a secret agent. She's pink, she's fun, people think that she's super flirty with her hair, makeup, and skincare, but she's actually on a mission to disseminate the luxury beauty industry and give people products they can afford. But I would say that this line is for, you know, the young college girl, the young mom, but even wider, it's for anybody who doesn't want to spend an arm and a leg on beauty. They do have some products that would work for more teenage skin, maybe if you're struggling with acne. If you look for active ingredients such as the Dr. Glycolic, that's definitely an option. And they do definitely have some more anti-aging serums and more graceful aging serums, such as the Uber Youth Super Serum. But knowing that they have factories in Korea, they're helping to make a more affordable version of K-beauty. Knowing they have products in France, they're making more affordable products for that luxury beauty. Knowing that they have factories in Italy, they're making these Italian beauty brands at fractions of the cost. And again, this is why a lot of people in the industry are a little bit pissed off, because it's cutting into their bottom line. The way I actually heard about this brand, because again, they're not sold in stores, is because of James Welsh. I am obsessed with that boy, and especially over the last couple weeks, I've just been binge watching his content. I have notifications turned on for a lot of my favorites, but I had a little bit of a fever these past few weeks, so nothing super scary. I'm totally fine, and I'm actually feeling really good, but I had a little bit of extra time to stay at home, edit some YouTube videos, which I hope you've been noticing and have those notifications turned on for, and I've been watching some of my favorite creators, and James Welsh got me with this one. With BeautyPie, he tried some of their cleansing balms, he tried specifically this serum, and that's when I was like, okay, how am I gonna get my little hands to do some topoplement on these? And that's when I started looking into the ethics of the brand, that not only are they cruelty-free, but they also have vegan options, and finding out some of this stuff behind the line that the line doesn't necessarily share or want to tell you. But the way I see it, they are destroying luxury beauty from the inside out. My first choices that James got me hooked on are the Super Healthy Skin Deep Purifying Cleanser. This has kaolin clay and lactic acid, so again, it's great for oily prone skin types. He also recommended these two different serums. This is the Uber Youth Super Serum. It has hydrating marine complexes and energizing bio-nymph peptides, which at first I was like, a bio-nymph? Like Lolita? Like, what are we talking about here? English literature, anyone? But peptides are amazing. Brands love to charge hundreds of dollars for them in their products, and here you can get them for under 15. He also loved the JAPANFUSION. This is a 2-minute treatment serum. It has vitamin C, antioxidants, as well as grape polyphenols. And this one actually does go on like the middle of a grape. Does that make sense? You know how the middle of a grape, like if you remove the peel or if you did surgery on a grape? It's super plump, it's super supple, and it looks super jelly, and it has that little bit of squish to it, but really it's just plump and it's vibrant and it's hydrated. That is what this makes your skin feel like. The inside of a grape. He also recommended this Super Retinol. This is a Super Retinol with vitamin C. That means that the vitamin C probably isn't going to penetrate as deep because of the pH level that this is at. However, this is a renewal moisturizer, and these can still have benefits together when used overnight. As mentioned, I was so excited to see these little capsules, specifically because, again, I know the manufacturers, I know the labs, and I know the companies that are selling these for 10 times the price. And the fact that these are $12.20, amazing. These are these little capsules that also make it easier to travel with. I hope you're not traveling at this time, but if you're someone who takes medications every day or have a pill box, which like me is filled with antidepressants and epilepsy medication, then you can actually throw this into your pill bottle, and I assume this would be a very easy way to travel along with your skincare. I am just as shocked as you that this happened, but I bought not just one under eye product, but 2 of them. I hate under eye products, and it's because they're glorified facial moisturizers. Some have good ingredients, but if you can use them here, the skin is the same, just a little bit thinner, use them on the entire face. BeautyPie is one of the brands that actually has these eye products at a price that's affordable to slather all over your entire face. So you know that I got the ceramide cream, again right here and right here, and I also got the Uber Youth Super Eye Energy Peptide-Infusion Cream, and I am planning to use this as a good old peptide moisturizer. The reason that I call BeautyPie the Costco of Beauty is because it's basically a members club that gives you access to makeup and to skincare that is made at the world's leading beauty labs, but without the luxury price tag or the markup. And the question is like, okay, do they treat their members right? Or what happens if you like don't use your membership that month? It seems like there are 3 main membership tiers with 1 annual pass. And again, you're allowed to decide of course, the products that you pick, but also how often those come to you. The other good thing is that if you don't purchase a product that month, your allowance actually rolls over to the next month, so you can use that in the future. And if you do buy even just a product or two, that membership still pays for itself based on what you're saving from the traditional luxury prices. So we could do a cost breakdown analysis of that if you want to get a little bit analytical with me, and we could also do a dupes video if you actually want me to dive into the brands that I believe, based on checking these ingredients lists, that these are almost identical dupes for. So let me know if that would be of interest. So overall, does BeautyPie get the CAS pass? They're pissing a lot of people off, but you also know that I am a pissed off consumer, and honestly, we're on the same side with this. I am pissed off with them. They are vegan friendly, they have cruelty-free options. From the people that I've spoken to who actually work for the company, they seem to treat their employees well. Honestly, you probably could have told this from the moment that I said they were tearing down the luxury beauty industry, because I am very impressed with this line, and yes, it gets the CAS pass. After speaking with Marzia, we were supposed to talk for 15 minutes, and we're both very busy, but we had a 45-minute conversation.
When you're in cosmetic or skincare product development, it's one problem after another, and that's what it is. And you just solve all the problems until you get to a product that's perfect, and then it's ready for the customer. But
I think at the end of the day, that's what I appreciate as a consumer, right? I would rather have a brand say, we done f***ed up. This is how we're going to fix it. This is how we're going to move forward, and take people's advice rather than say, oh no, we actually, you know, this is a you problem, you know, kind of putting the blame back on the consumer. It's like, no, let's work through this together. And I think that, you know, kind of like old luxury is going out. It's also that mentality of we are almighty versus no, we're in this together. Let's build something awesome together, because we are crafting our routines, you know, to feel empowered every day, right? Not to be talked down to. And if you want to see a little bit more of that or have specific questions, let me know and I'll see what I can pull together. This brand is for informed, intelligent beauty lovers. Marzia and BeautyPie really aligned with my philosophy of not overspending on skincare and skincare being self-care, and they offered to give a discount so that for beautiful butterflies in this community who are interested in trying some of these luxury products that are priced affordably, you can use that code to get $50 of extra spending allowance. As mentioned, I'm so grateful that Marzia not only took the time to speak with me and that we had such a great, informative, scientifically backed conversation, but that they really are breaking down the luxury beauty industry, because I agree with her. Old luxury is dead, it is gone, it is over. And it's time for the industry to wake up to what we as skincare nerds and beauty enthusiasts actually want and actually need. You know that I am really harsh on these brands, regardless of sponsorships or campaigns. I always do my due diligence, and I try to make sure to really uncover the dirt that is behind these brands. And everything that I could find from this brand ended up being mistakes that they corrected, which is again, something that as a consumer, I appreciate and I'm happy to put my money towards. If you do want that dupes video or have any other questions, please let me know so that we can try to look into them. And if you do want a discount, again, that coupon code is right there. Always remember to be beautiful inside and out. Grab yourself a slice of the pie. Is that cheesy? Oh, cheesy pie? Vegan cheesy pie? Okay, I'm done. And I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.